The morning of the day I was going to get released from prison after 10 years in there, the whole time I couldn't shake this bad feeling that something was going to happen, something that would prevent me from being released. I mean, after all that time in there, prison has this funny way of convincing you you're never going to leave, even though you know you have a release date. And when mine came, it just felt like something that would never come. Think of 10 years off from this day. It's just a day you don't think will ever come, especially when you're in some bad place. And that whole morning, I was like, something's going to pop up in the computer. You know, they run your name and make sure you don't have any holds on you for various reasons in other counties and states and just whatever. And I just couldn't help but feel like, man, for some reason, I'm not going home today. There's no way I'm about to finally leave this place. There's just no way. Something's got to give. I felt that way the whole morning. But eventually, they called my name. My people were here to pick me up, my mom and my stepdad. And they called me out front to walk through the little booth and walk through those prison gates. And that is a wild feeling. I didn't even know what car. It's been a decade. I don't even know what car or truck, my mom and stepdad are driving. I don't know what they have. And I didn't recognize the vehicle when it pulled up, but I saw them in the window, so I hopped in the back and off we went just that quick, like it never happened, like I never was in prison. I'm right there in the back of a car, of a truck. We just drive on, turn out of the prison and head down the road, head home. And man, you're looking around, and I swear there's no feeling like it. And it really sucks that the only time I've really experienced this kind of high, you could even call it, or feeling, is when I'm getting released from jail or prison. But it's just, it's like those commercials that you see for antidepressants where, all the colors of the outside are dull, and then they like pull this, digital film off your TV screen to show what it's like once you start taking this antidepressant, and all the colors just are vibrant and just so bright and powerful. That's what it felt like. It was such a sunny day, and all trees, grass, it had been so long since I'd seen that. And just being on the road with other cars, other people driving, passing gas stations, people walking around in normal clothes. It was wild. It was just, I was taking in everything, and everything was like something I had just seen for the first time. Because that's how it felt. All you see back there are these bland uniform. The brightest color you'll see is orange, and you see it so much you get sick of it. You want to throw up when you see it. But other than that, it's gray floors, white walls, metal toilets, metal showers, metal bunks, white shirts, white boxers. And then there's all this color. It's just, it's such a good feeling. You almost don't know what to make of it or what to do about it. I remember for a while, not even just the first day, but for a while, the smallest tasks were so exciting. And on the way home, of course, we had to take a bathroom break. I had to pee pretty quick just from excitement. So we pulled into a gas station, and man, I remember just going in the gas station. I felt like I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing. I was somewhere I wasn't supposed to be, and I went to the bathroom, and there was someone in there. I spoke to both people in that bathroom, I was so excited, so happy. I was just talking to these guys. And now looking back, now that I've been out about 2 years, you don't talk to people in the bathroom unless you're saying, excuse me or something, But man, I was just chatting it up with these guys because I was just so happy to be doing anything out there. I remember in that bathroom, that is the first time in a decade I had gotten to look in a mirror, a real mirror, and clearly see what I looked like. And I went in at 20, 21, and I was 30 now. I hadn't seen, definitely haven't seen my full body. You know, just seeing your full body. I hadn't seen that in a decade. I don't even know what I look like. And I got caught in that mirror for quite a while, just, you know, taking it in. This is me. This is what I look like now. You know, in the car ride, you know, of course, my mom and stepdad, they're happy. They're glad to be picking me up. The day's finally come, and there's no shortage of just gratitude and glad feelings for that, you know, to have me back. But if I'm being honest, I could sense this slight tension in the air between them and me. And I feel like it came from the thought, you know, what's my son gonna do? You know, what is he gonna do now? He's out. Is he gonna do the right thing or the wrong thing? You know, we've kept up with him. We've visited him. We've called him here and there, you know, throughout his prison journey. And he, you know, he sounds like he's in a much better place, you know, when we talk to him and when we visit him in prison. But now he's out. Now he's free. He's not locked up anymore. He can do what he wants. And what is he going to do? Is he going to do what he's supposed to do? Or is he going to go back to that guy before, you know, the guy he was before he got locked up, that same 20-year-old who just wanted to do a bunch of BS? What's he really going to do? Did he really change? Did he really learn anything? Has he really grown at all? You know, there was this slight fear, this tension, this worry, you know, of what my next move was going to be. And I could sense that. And I understood that. That's understandable, you know. Wasn't mad at that. I remember on the way home driving through my hometown all that time later. Everything had changed. All the businesses were either gone or different or moved. I hardly recognized anything. I remember getting home to my mom's house. I had to stay with her for about a week until my house was ready to move into. And their whole house had changed. And that's the house I grew up in. Just so many things have changed, including the people. You know, I guess part of me having come in at 2021, you know, and at that time we were, you know, me and all my friends were getting together, partying. We'd all hang out at one house. And I guess I expected something like that to happen now that I was out, and some big get together, some big party, and just like old times and celebrate. And that just never came around to happening. And, you know, the reason is I had to realize over the course of that week, everybody would listen. They outgrew that. It had been a decade since that time with everybody. Nobody did that anymore. Everybody had kids. Everybody had bills, cars, houses, mortgages, careers, you know, wives, families. You know, people had better stuff to do than hang around at one person's house and just party all day. That stuff didn't happen anymore. It hadn't happened for a long time. And when that's all you know, that's the last thing I knew. That's all I knew about how life was with me and my circle the last time I was out. And then you come home and it's none of that. People don't even really get together anymore. Everybody has their own lives and own stuff going on. That was something I had to adjust to. Another thing, it just public places. Like I think my sisters took me out to the mall to try to buy me some clothes when I first got out. And, you know, of course they were taking me out to eat, and then maybe my friends wanted to go out to eat. Anytime we were in a public place for the first several months, nobody could hear me. Anytime I spoke in a public place where there's other people around talking, having their own conversations, nobody could hear anything I was saying, because I was so accustomed to intentionally, to where it became just natural, speaking so softly, so quietly, so that no other inmates could overhear my conversation, because people will try to, you know, hear what you're talking about. They want to know what everybody's talking about. They want to hear the gossip. They want to know what you're up to. They want to know if they're missing out on something that they're not aware of yet, or, you know, if there's some danger coming, and they need, you know, then, you know, they just want to hear what you're talking about. And so you just kind of naturally learn to not move your lips much because there will be somebody clear across the cell block just watching you very inconspicuously, just watching your mouth, and can kind of tell just by, when you're talking, and, if you say something and both of you look over at this person, down there, then, okay, they're talking about this guy, do they look angry? Do they look like they're laughing, like they're just making a joke? Or people watch your body language, your lips. They try to overhear. They watch where you look when you're talking. And you kind of learn to just be this robotic thing. Like if I'm talking about someone over here, I'm looking and pointing over here. I'll be like, hey, you see that person behind me? That person behind me. Yeah, right behind me. Just in case, the whole time I'm talking about some guy over there. Just in case someone's, trying to figure out what me and this person are talking about. So I was so used to that. People would be like, huh? What? Huh? I can't hear you. They'd have to, I remember some girl scooching her stool, like right next, like touching mine, because she could not hear anything I was saying. And so when I spoke up, it felt like I was yelling. Thankfully, I kind of broke away from that habit. But yeah, that was a weird, just little thing to adjust to and get used to, getting out. And other than that, just, things I've spoken about on this channel before, just little triggers, little just involuntary responses, reflexes that are ingrained in your mind from doing time. Anytime I hear keys jingle, like if someone's leaving or coming in the door to a house, anytime I hear keys jingle, I'll go to I almost go to hide my phone and, just expect someone's coming, and I need to stand up and see who it is and what's going on. It's an officer or something, just that kind of response. Showers, it's, to this day, I have to force myself to stay in there longer than 5, 6, 7 minutes because you just get so used to just having to take short showers. And you kind of, you have to like force yourself to remember, hey, I could stay in here a 30 minutes if I want and just be under the water and chill. Lots of little things, not eating my food so fast, not wolfing it down. The first day I was out, my mom and stepdad took me out to eat. And when they brought our food, I finished my plate and looked up. By the time I had finished all my food, my stepdad and my mom were still putting their butter on the pancakes and salt on the fries and eggs or potatoes. And just they were still preparing their stuff to even eat. Putting the creamer in their coffee, and I had already finished because I was just used to hey, whatever you get, whatever food you get, wolf it down. You better eat all you can get as fast as you can get it. I had to break out of that and actually taste and enjoy the food. Hey, there's no time limit here. No one's rushing you. No one's going to walk up and ask for a piece of your burger. You can take your time. You don't have to hurry and get rid of it. Just little things like that, But yeah, overall, it was an amazing feeling getting out. One that I hope I never experience again, even though as good as it was, because, I think the main point here is just the most, mundane, everyday tasks or things that you would never even think about for months after getting out. These were exciting things to me. Going on grocery shopping trips. Nowadays I'm like, oh man, babe, we got to go back to the grocery store. Oh, I hate going to the grocery store. Back then I used to love it. I would just walk around and just be like, oh my gosh, I forgot all about these cookies. Hadn't had these since I was, 19. It was amazing. I loved it. I wanted to walk around the whole store and see all the stuff that I had never even thought about being able to get or have for so long. Just little stuff like that. It was awesome. So there's my experience of getting out of prison after 10 years. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, you're not already, please consider subscribing. See you next time.